What is up, everybody? I'm Louis T, and welcome back to the second episode of Getting to Know. And today, it's Troll versus Troll. I got LetWookieeWin in with me today. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great, dude. How you doing?
Yeah, all right, man. All right. I'm excited to, Troll versus Troll. It's a big moment for both of us, We see who comes out on top.
Why do you hate kids?
I wasn't going to bring it up, but now you've made people curious about why you hate kids. You feel free to give context on that.
Well, context was we were talking about going to the movies, and I still like going to the movies, but I don't like when people bring their infants. Not necessarily their kids, but their infants.
What age is infant? Baby.
Well, if they can't walk on their own, then
baby.
Yeah, if they're still going to cry for no reason whatsoever, then
I love that you brought that up straight away. It's great because I wasn't going to use it.
It's a PSA out there. If you have kids if you have infants, don't bring them to the movie just because you don't have a babysitter.
There you go. We got to kick off with an possibly unpopular opinion, but that's just Wookie and. Yeah, yep. Good start. I'm enjoying the start. Well, I just want to start off by thanking you for getting involved in this, man. I appreciate it. It's hopefully going to be a long-running series, and people weren't saying yes, so I've had to go for you at the beginning, but I've just had to settle for you for now, and then
I know I
move on to the better people later.
I appreciate you asking me either way.
I'm just joking. So I want to start off because I have a set of questions I'll ask people, but I may put different swings on it. Depends who I'm talking to. What got you into gaming? Which console? Which game?
Well, I guess it's time to start my age here because I started
52.
I started with the Atari 2600.
Christ. I wasn't born then, I don't think.
Probably not. But I really don't remember too many of the games that really made an impact on me on the Atari. I just remember it really being fun. I mean, it was basic, because it's all freaking pixelated and whatnot back then. And I've owned almost every game system since then. Probably the one that I remember playing the most was the Nintendo, the original NES.
Yeah.
With Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt and all that stuff.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I've been gaming since I was very, very little. So,
was there someone that got you into gaming, or did you sort of just your friends played it? Or
it was pretty much just me that got into gaming because back then, of course, we didn't have internet. So
yeah, man, could you imagine now without internet? Fucking hell.
Yeah, the game systems were popular for then, and my parents got me one, and I've been buying them ever since. Well, I probably stopped buying them after the PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a PlayStation 3. I had a Xbox 360 and Xbox One for a little while, but then I just turned around and
because I wasn't playing. You're very much more PC now, aren't you?
Yeah, I started the shift to PC after I started building my own PCs. So
a bit of a brain box when it comes to PCs.
Yeah, it's basically like a big Lego puzzle. Put them in the slot they go into, and PC building's not that hard.
If they don't go in, you just smack it until it does, yeah?
Yeah, you can, but
that's the official way.
Not new parts.
Yeah. So you mentioned what age was that roughly you got into? When was the Atari?
Probably when I was about
the mid-80s?
4 or 5. Yeah. Because I was born in 83.
Oh, okay.
Probably about
the mid to late 80s.
5 years old. So
yeah. I obviously...
It's been a long time.
Tell me about it. You are only a little bit older than me, to be fair. You're only, 5 years older than me, I think. But yeah, the Atari was slightly before my time.
I would actually still have the Atari if my grandmother hadn't sold it out of her attic.
Are you a bit angry about that
one? I was a little salty when I heard about it. I was like, I still wanted to keep that.
She was probably, what's this shit? I'm selling it, put it out the front for the jumble sale.
some black box with a wood grain on it. I don't need this crap.
So I kind of like to capture people's thoughts on how you think gaming has evolved. You know, it's come such a long way, and where you think maybe it will go.
Well, I think there's part of the evolution that I don't like, and there's been a more of a lack in single player games.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I feel like single player games tell a better story, typically. But I mean, I understand why they go towards the multiplayer aspect. They have potential to make more money that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at the more recent releases of single player games like Spider-Man and God of War. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2.
The popularity, yeah.
Buttload of money. So, I mean, people want single player games. I just wish they would put more time into making more single player games.
Yeah. I think
at least something with a campaign, because even the multiplayer games nowadays don't even put a campaign in them anymore.
Call of Duty being a big example of that, right? Because obviously Black Ops 4, exactly. There was nothing single player in that at all.
Because I actually enjoyed Black Ops 2 with the campaign. That was like the last Call of Duty I'd played before Black Ops 4, and I didn't pay for Black Ops 4. So
I'm regretting paying for it myself.
But yeah, as far as graphics, I mean, it's been funny because like every time a new system come out, of course, like I said, I've been there since Atari 2600, and every time a new one come out, it's like the graphics are like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing ever. How can they get any better than this? And then it keeps on going and going and going. I don't know what the next step would be because, I mean, it's hard for a system to push 4K gaming as it is.
Yeah. Do you think one day we'll be playing with real life people?
I hope not.
You control an actual person.
I think I made a movie about that before.
Oh, really?
That was actually like you were controlling an actual person, but it was a video game to everybody else.
Sounds familiar.
Couldn't remember the name of it. The movie was awful. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. Don't check that one out, whatever that is.
I think it had Gerard Butler in it, actually.
I've heard the name, but I couldn't tell you what he's been in.
He's the Leonidas from 300.
What did you just say? I don't even know what you just said.
You don't even know what 300 is? All right, we're ending this. Cut it
off. Am I missing something here? What's 300?
You don't know what 300 is?
I may know it if you tell me.
The Spartans.
Oh, that. Yeah, I know what that is.
This is Sparta.
Yeah, I thought about Spartans as soon as you said it, but I just wanted you to clarify. That was all.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on. So I want to find out about people away from gaming briefly. And what kind of hobbies did you have growing up and still now that aren't related to gaming?
Growing up, I actually did a lot of drawing.
I didn't know that.
Fell out of that. Yeah, probably fell out of it probably around high school or so. And then I was actually in concert band in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Played a lot of the trumpet. Played football in high school.
That doesn't surprise me. You're a bit of a unit.
I was actually smaller in high school, but I was still a big dude. But after high school, I pretty much went for several years. I spent sinking money into cars.
Okay,
did a lot of drag racing. That was my hobby for several years. I would go to the drag strip every Friday night after work. There's been comics. I've been collecting comics all my life.
Mm-hmm.
I got out of that for a little bit, but I started getting back into it. Those are my main hobbies outside of gaming. So,
what happened with the drawing? What age did that go up to, and you just got fed up with it?
When I actually took an art class in high school, I struggled with parts of it, and I got frustrated, so I just quit doing it.
You didn't even do it,
especially when it came to drawing. When it came to drawing people, I couldn't fucking draw people to save my fucking life.
I can understand that. I can barely draw stickmen, so yeah, I don't have a knack for that.
Most of the stuff I drew was fictional characters that didn't represent humans at all. So,
do you ever consider trying to get back into it, or
not really? Just because my time's been consumed by so much other stuff lately. So,
Yeah, understandable.
Things would have to calm down a lot for me to even, because being a good artist takes a lot of time.
Being a bad artist probably takes a lot of time as well.
Yeah. Being an artist in general. Yeah. It takes a lot of time and practice, and it's not stuff I have time for if I want to do other stuff as well.
Sure. No, I understand that. There's not enough time in the day, is there, for everything?
Yeah.
So my next question is kind of inspired by Berryzan, who was my previous guest, as you know. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Favorite pizza topping? I mean, I'd probably answer the same as he did and say pepperoni.
You can't just copy him.
Anytime I can't decide what I want to put on a pizza, I'm just like, pepperoni and bacon.
I think, it's like the basic go-to, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, tying in with that, what are your thoughts on fruit on pizza?
Never.
Good.
It does not belong on pizza.
Good boy.
You can take your pineapple or whatever and throw it in the trash.
Moving swiftly on. A couple of top threes for you. Firstly, top 3 films. And I have a feeling some sort of Marvel or DC stuff's going to get in there pretty.
Number 3. I would probably put Thor Ragnarok was actually an amazing movie. It was probably one of the best Marvel movies they'd put out in a while. Number 2 would probably Guardians of the Galaxy. I freaking love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's a brilliant film.
Constantly. My number 1 is actually going to be Boondock Saints. I watch that movie several times a week.
I don't even know what that's about.
It's about these 2 Irish brothers who kind of like do their own vigilante justice throughout Boston. I would say it's definitely worth a watch for anybody that likes movies, period. It's a fantastic movie.
I'm fairly sure I've heard the name, but never got around to watching it.
Yeah, but I watched it when it watched it when it first came out, and I've watched it God knows how many times since then. But it's definitely my top movie.
Okay, cool. Top 3 bands / artists.
Top 3 bands. I know number 1 will be Metallica.
Okay.
That's like what got me into the whole rock metal genre to begin with.
Assume Imagine Dragons are getting there somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Number... So what's the biggest number I can think of?
All of the 9s.
Repeating infinite. No, there's some worse than Imagine Dragons. Anyways.
ABBA.
So number 2, I'd probably have to say Trivium.
Okay.
I've always loved Trivium because I feel like you have to be smart to understand what the hell Trivium's saying. Because they use some really big words in their metal songs, and I love it. For some reason, I don't know why. But number 3.
I can tell you have like a particular genre that you like.
Yeah. Although I do listen, as a matter of fact, number 3, I'll probably put Outkast. I love Outkast.
Oh, you've thrown that curveball in there, haven't you?
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Outkast. Outkast is amazing.
I can appreciate that. Yeah, they're great. Especially Miss Jackson, probably my favorite song of theirs.
My favorite song of theirs would probably be Bombs Over Baghdad.
I don't think I know that one.
You don't know that one?
I think so. Well, I'll check it out after, all right, along with 300. And I'll come back to you and I'll be like, yeah, I know these things.
I'm pretty sure they're even on the same album.
What, as Miss Jackson?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I will check that out after this, all right? I promise. Maybe. Probably forget. I don't know how much of an avid reader you are, but top 3 books.
I haven't read a whole lot. My top 1, of course, I'd probably put a whole book series as the A Song of Ice and Fire book series, which is Game of Thrones for everybody else that watches the show. Game of Thrones is the name of the very first book.
Okay.
They just named the show after that. But the series is called A Song of Ice and Fire. And I really wish, because there's still one more book that George R.R. Martin's been working on, and there's still another book supposed to come after that. And we've been waiting probably about 5 or 6 years for this next book. So
is it still in the pipeline?
Yeah, he's. I'm hoping he gets it done before he freaking croaks, because I mean, he's old and he's not in great health. So I mean, I'm like, come on, dude, give us the book. Okay?
Just get it out already.
Like, he even took a year off from con stuff to try and work on the book, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm like, come on, man.
Outrush a masterpiece, man.
I guess, but with him having another book still scheduled after that means it's not supposed to end in the next book either. So I'm like, we need something, please.
You're gonna probably abuse me for this as well, but I haven't watched Game of Thrones, okay? Because I don't know why.
I mean,
I haven't got the attention span for it. I don't think.
I've watched it. Of course, this is going to be cliche, but the books are a hell of a lot better than the show is.
Yeah, it always seems to be the case. Yeah,
but I mean, you can't. I understand you can't fit like 1,000-page books into a season.
Yeah,
but I like the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. They were pretty close to the books. Then after that, it just kind of started trailing off, and then it got to the point where it surpassed the books to where they had to make their own storyline. Which I feel like the show has suffered a little bit for that. But
you think it was better when it was sticking to the book plots?
Right. I mean, they had to combine a couple characters into one person, which is fine. You know, I mean, you can't follow everybody, but there's 2 storylines that I won't even mention just in case anybody wants to read the books that they left out of the show that are really pretty damn significant for the books. So I don't know why they would leave them out of the show, other than they're like, hey, the show's going to end this year, so we're just not going to even put it in there. But
yeah, maybe it's like a time thing. Maybe.
Yeah. But I couldn't even really think of any other books for number 2 and 3, to be honest.
You're not much of a avid reader.
Nah, I mean, that's pretty much the only books I've read in the last 10 years. So
would you have like a comic top 3? Because you say obviously you're a comic guy.
Comics I could do a top 3. Number 1 would be Spider-Man by a long shot. I'm actually in the middle of collecting all of the issues from the Alien Costume saga, which is when Venom shows up. Number 2 would probably be X-Men. Number 3, what would I put at number 3? Number 3 would probably be Venom.
Okay.
Because he had his own comic series too, so.
That's cool. I mean, I've never really been much of a comic book person, but I'm not even really a superhero sort of. It doesn't interest me all that much. I don't know any of the comics you mentioned. Really.
Yeah, Spider-Man is one of the ones I grew up on pretty big time. Spider-Man and X-Men, but those are the 2 that I've always stuck with. And Batman too. So I could probably Batman are probably right there tied with number 3.
Okay, that's cool. Put you on the spot. Do an English accent.
Fucking laser sights.
I hate you so much.
I knew you'd love that.
Top 3 all-time games, and I will allow a top 5 if you are struggling.
Top 3 all-time games. Probably number 3. I'll put Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Bad shout.
I love the whole Assassin's Creed series, but like Black Flag was the one that I could constantly go back. I played through Black Flag probably about 5 or 6 times already. And while Odyssey,
I was going to ask you about Odyssey. Yeah,
I still haven't finished it.
No, me neither. I just stopped.
It's like, oh, there's this other game to play now. And I start playing that one and don't finish that one either.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I still need to finish Spider-Man also.
No, the feels, man.
So I'll probably slot that in number 3 just because I played it so freaking much and I loved the whole aspect of just sailing around the sea.
Being a pirate, yeah.
Yeah. Number 2. I had an answer for that. I don't remember. Apparently, it wasn't that good of a game, I guess.
No, considering it's your number 2, I figured you'd remember it.
I was trying to look at games I got on here, but that's not going to do me any good. Number 2.
Is it console or PC?
See, I didn't play a whole lot of console games. Well, recently. But number 2, actually that might have jump started me a little bit. Because number 2, I wasn't even thinking about console games, to be honest. Metal Gear Solid.
Which one? The first one?
I'd say the second one. I like the first one. The second one was a lot better to me.
What's the name of that one? Because it was one where Raiden first appeared in it, right?
Yeah. I don't remember what the name of it was.
That was a good game, though.
I think number 3 was Sons of Liberty. I can't remember what number 2 was called.
Possibly. Yeah, because 4 was Guns of Patriots, which wasn't as good as the previous, I didn't think. And then number 3 was Snake Eater. Sons of Liberty was 2, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I started playing number 3, and I didn't really get far into it. I never even played number 4. I have number 5. I haven't tried playing it yet.
Snake Eater was a good one. If you get a chance to go back and play it, definitely do it.
Right. Yeah, number 2 was probably one of those ones that was up there that I really enjoyed playing.
Sure.
And my number 1 would probably be, I mean, honestly, this is going to sound stupid, but yeah, jump right into Fortnite. But like Super Mario Brothers, man. I mean,
okay,
that was a game. Even now, if I had a Nintendo, I would just go back and play regular Mario Brothers. Like I've tried going back and playing it, like on a emulator on my PC. Only problem with that is I don't have a Nintendo controller, so you haven't try and play it on a keyboard.
A little bit awkward.
Let me tell you how difficult Mario Brothers is on a keyboard. But they actually sell USB controllers that you can use on your computer for emulators and stuff. I've been wanting to buy one, but that's a game I like. Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3. I could always go back and play those if I had a Nintendo.
I think those games sort of stand the test of time, though, because like I think platformers generally don't age very quickly,
right?
Because they're fairly simple and people of any age can kind of just pick them up, can't they?
Yeah. It's pretty much my earliest memories from gaming was playing like Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and it's one of those ones I could always go back to.
I must admit, I've never heard of Duck Hunt before. That's a new one for me. I was never a Nintendo kid though, so
yeah, Duck Hunt came on the same cartridge as Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
you had ducks.
Mario Brothers, you had Duck Hunt, but yeah, you had the orange and gray light gun that you actually pointed at the TV and shot the ducks. So,
oh, okay. I know. Actually, I think I had a friend that had it. Yeah, it vaguely rings a bell now. Moving back, sort of into the streaming portion of this. I'm just kind of curious what got you into streaming. Like, were you an avid watcher of Twitch for quite a while? You liked what you saw, and you were just like, "Oh, yeah, I'll give this a go."
I probably started watching Twitch about 5 or 6 years ago. But I only watched maybe 2 people.
Okay.
Like I watched Wow Hobbs and I watched Synapse. Wow Hobbs was a Hearthstone streamer. He started out as a World of Warcraft streamer, which was why he's Wow Hobbs. But he shifted to Hearthstone, and I was big into Hearthstone back then, so I constantly watched him every time he was live. Synapse was actually a streamer that mostly did stuff in like Adobe After Effects.
Okay.
He pretty much did that most of his streams. Yeah, I'd been watching Twitch back then, and part of me always wanted to try it. And I think I maybe threw up maybe 1 or 2 streams back when GTA 5 was out.
Right.
And I tried it then, but I didn't have a face cam or anything. I don't even know if I was using, I think I was using XSplit because I didn't even know about OBS. I don't even know if OBS was around back then. I don't even know how old OBS is, but I tried it then. Didn't really pick up for me, didn't really catch on. So I just kept sticking to watching other people, and then I probably took a 2-year hiatus from video games. Period.
Okay. Was there any reason behind that?
I just started shifting towards tabletop gaming.
Oh, okay. Like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, yeah.
It was mostly board games. There was miniature games I played. Like there's a miniature game called X-Wing. I got big into that. Did tournaments and stuff like that. Hung out at the game shops and whatnot around here, playing games all the time. I'd go there after work, play games. I didn't really have a want to play video games at the time. So I wasn't even going on Twitch anymore. Then the game shop that was closest to me ended up shutting down because they didn't have enough business to stay open. Game shops tend to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because everything can be bought online nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's happening with a lot of the sort of high street stores.
But then I started easing back into video gaming probably in the last couple of years. Probably early last year is when I started really getting back into video games. So and then it wasn't until about mid last year that I really wanted to try and start streaming.
Okay.
That's when I started researching, what stuff do I need to actually be presentable, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Started talking to other people, like microphones and what I would need to run an XLR mic and all that good stuff.
Yep.
But
started taking it a bit more seriously.
Yeah, and part of it is it might not seem like it, but I tend to be a bit of an introvert. I think streaming kind of helps with like interaction with other people because I really don't like people in person usually.
I think it's funny you mentioned that because in the previous episode, me and Barry mentioned about people streaming being introverts generally.
Yeah, I mean, it helps with social interaction, I think, because you actually get. I mean, you're just putting yourself on there, and if people come in, you can sit there and talk to them. And but yeah, I tend to try to be active on my stream.
Yep, easier said than done.
Yeah, it's introvertedness. I'm usually prepping for a stream probably a good hour and a half before I even go live, just because I need to prepare myself mentally.
Okay, I can understand that. Yeah,
and I kind of let loose when I'm on stream, but then I mean it gets taxing because people don't understand. Introvert doesn't mean you're shy; it just means you probably overthink stuff, and you really have to think things through before you actually put it out there.
Sure.
But that was part of streaming, and also, I mean, it being in the communities I've been in with like Fish Suit and all them, and Geeksay and all those people. I mean, everybody's always been so friendly and welcoming. So
that helps a lot.
You get wrapped up in those communities, and kind of makes it easier for you to hit the go live button.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you know those people are going to be hanging out, then it's just sort of like hanging out with your friends at the end of the day, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. I mean, even if I only have like 3 or 4 people, I started seeing it as like, just hanging out on the couch with my friends playing video games, taking turns or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, and I keep having to remind myself to do it as a hobby. Like I started hiding my numbers because there was for a while, like when I first started, you get them number watching.
Yeah.
And you go on 2 hours, 3 hours with 0 viewers, and you're like, oh, wow.
Why am I doing this? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when as you know, I took probably 2 months off from even streaming anything at all. And then when I came back, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to hide the number. I don't even know how many people are in my chat unless they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I just try and keep active as much as I can. Sometimes I do get sucked into the game a little bit and kind of zone out, but
that happens.
You
say hiding the number helped you quite a bit then?
Yeah, I've been having a lot better time with it here the last couple months. So
yeah, it has.
I really enjoy doing it.
The fact that you've picked up a more of a regular schedule recently, so it shows that you're not thinking too much into it.
And Plus I got a game coming out that I'm like really hyped to play. So
Wonder what that is.
I don't know. Starts with a some Tom dude.
Tom Chancy? Tom Chancy, I think.
Yeah. Tom Chancy's Multiplication 2.
Of course, you're talking about the Division 2, which comes out next week, right, for you?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it comes out. I'll start playing it on Tuesday.
Sure.
Because I got the Ultimate Edition, of course. Not too much money, but
Hey, if it's a game that you're going to enjoy, then it's worth it.
Absolutely.
So, what are you aiming to achieve from Twitch? Are you just happy to just build a community of sorts, or you aiming higher?
I'm not looking for partner or anything. I honestly don't know if I would be able to handle being partner. I mean, you're talking about averaging 75 viewers a stream. That would be, to me, that would be mind blowing. I'm good with just doing it for fun. I mean, I've got a good job I've been working at for going on 11 years now. It makes good money. I mean, I don't need anything from Twitch, to be honest.
You don't mind me asking, what is your job?
I work in shipping and receiving for a company called TVH. It's we ship forklift parts.
So is it like warehouse work?
Yeah. Okay. I mostly do the LTL shipments, and I'm also in inventory control.
Okay.
So
I mean,
I've been there for a long time. So
it makes me curious because I myself, after a day at work, I'm too tired. I don't feel like streaming. How do you cope after a long day? Because it's not easy.
Because that's what kept me from streaming during the week a lot, was because a lot of times I'm just tired.
Yeah.
But
you did it before though, right?
Yeah. But I kind of struggled a little bit. I mean, because like I said, I was tired, and there was a couple of times that I was just like, you know what, I'm about to cancel stream because I'm just freaking exhausted. But I think part of that was because I didn't really have a game that I was really excited to play.
Yeah,
like I enjoyed, because I think I was mostly streaming Siege back then.
Quite a bit, yeah, and the First Division for a bit as well.
I mean, I like playing Siege, but it's not like something I was like, hey, let's go, I'm ready to fire up the stream and be bad on stream.
That's quite a tricky game to stream, I imagine, as well, because you got to pay attention.
Yeah, and plus it was, my computer couldn't handle it at the time, because I've upgraded my processor since then. But I didn't like playing the game capped at 60 frames, because a game like that is kind of important to use my full 144 hertz if I can. But it's this time. Tom Clancy's The Division 2 is something that is mostly PvE. I can PvP if I want to. I don't have to. But it's something that I don't have to worry about, if I'm not hitting 144 frames per second or anything like that. I can just enjoy the game and have fun. And we've already got a couple other streamers and people in our communities that are going to be getting into it and jumping in and starting up a clan and whatnot. So
that's pretty cool. It's obviously more enjoyable with friends.
Yeah, like No Dice. No Dice is one of the ones that's going to be also streaming The Division 2.
Okay. Is Fish going to play it as well, I believe? I
think Fish is going to try and play it, because he gets the game for free for doing the Toby Eye Tracker thing.
Oh, okay.
So he got the game for free, I believe. Cool. And that's why it's part of why he's trying to do the 2 PC setup, so he can at least try it out and see if he wants to stream it.
Yeah.
So I think he's been kind of also struggling to find something that he really wants to stream, other than Tetris 99.
Which confuses the hell out of me, by the way. I still don't get that game at all.
Yeah, I was like, I played Tetris growing up, but this Tetris 99 Battle Royale stuff kind of...
You played it though, right?
No, I don't have a Switch.
Oh, I thought you played it. Oh, it's only on Switch. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you understand how the game works?
Even if I had a Switch, I probably wouldn't play the Tetris 99 stuff.
No.
I would just play basic ass Tetris.
I couldn't understand for the life of me how Battle Royale Tetris works at all.
Yeah, I still don't. Like, I'm with people like Fish, if they're playing, I mean, honestly, I'll be completely honest. He's usually playing a game I really don't care for.
You're there for Fish,
Sorry,
aren't you? That's the thing.
Sorry,
like
Fish,
Sims 4.
But I'm there for the community and for Fish. I mean, they're great people, so I like hanging out in their chat and hanging out with them and shooting the shit. And
I think that's when you know that you're making it somewhere and streaming is people aren't there for the game; they're there for you. Right, I think that's because I think it's the same for you. I mean, I haven't got an interest in watching Overwatch, but I'm there just to abuse you. So
yeah, of course,
there's got to be something in it for me, obviously. But yeah, but that's what we're there for, just to chat shit with you and
absolutely
watch you fail, pretty much.
Most of the time.
So remind me, what was your go-to game when you properly started streaming? Did you say it was Siege? Or was there one before that?
Yeah, that's true. I don't think
say GTA
before Siege. Well, GTA was years ago.
I guess there was quite a big gap.
Out.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably did that when it first came out and streamed it once or twice, and I was like, eh.
So Siege was, when you properly started, Siege was your go-to generally?
Yeah, I would say Siege.
Okay.
Because I can't really think of anything I was playing when I first started streaming.
So do you play a variety of games, or is it generally Siege related, Overwatchy sort of competitive?
Most of them are first-person shooters. Of course, the Division's third-person shooter, but I mean, it's an FPS game, isn't it? Yeah, it's the first really looter shooter that I've gotten into hardcore. I've tried Destiny, which is a looter shooter. Tried Anthem, and
how did that go? Yeah, what was with that?
I like the gameplay in Anthem, but when it came out, it was over a weekend. I'd started getting sick, so I wasn't playing anything at all. Mm-hmm. So I was sitting on Twitch watching other people play it, and people were already hitting end game within 24 hours.
How's that?
It's because there wasn't enough content.
Right.
Like the content, like a story doesn't even get you all the way to level 30, which is max level. And there were supposed to be 3 strongholds that you did for endgame content. One of those was just the beta story that they did. The other another one was something. It's literally a copy pasta of the very last mission you do for the story.
Okay.
And the third one was, to me, it looked like it was something random that didn't even have anything to do with the story. So I don't even. And I mean, it seemed to be a very buggy game still, even after so long in development, and the content just didn't seem to be there, and it kind of just turned me off to it because I was sitting there watching somebody hit endgame already within a day. And it's like, okay, if I'm going to get to endgame that quick and have all this shit still to freaking grind out just to level max level, then I don't even want to fool with it. And I pretty much uninstalled it right after that.
Am I right in thinking it was in development for several years?
7 years.
It was 7 years.
7-year development.
That is a long time for a game to be. I know there's games in early access that go on for that long, but
yeah, and it's their stories. The news stories are only getting worse for them because I think just a couple of days ago there was an article put out that it was shutting down PS4s and even bricked a couple of them.
How does that happen? That's crazy.
It's pushing the system so hard that it's overheating and just shutting off.
Yeah, that's so not going to end well for them.
A lot of problems ahead. It's like, I don't know if any amount of patches or anything like this is going to help. But
I mean, hopefully, for the sake of people that really wanted to enjoy the game, it sorts itself out.
Yeah, I hope people that are playing it are still enjoying it. But just from what I saw, I just didn't want to put any more time into it. With Division 2 on the horizon, I knew I'd be switching to that anyway. So
yeah, sure. How important this? I'm kind of going. I haven't even got this right down. I'm just kind of randomly asking stuff. And by the way, with my cam, I don't know why it keeps changing color all the fucking time. It's doing my head in.
You probably have like low light compensation or auto adjust or something on.
I turned that fucker off, so I don't know what it is.
Have you restarted your computer since then?
No. Problem is, right, with friggin' slobs and the camera settings, they reset every single time. Like, it must be when you turn your computer off and it's like back to normal, even though I changed them. So I have to change it every time.
That's the shitty thing is Logitech cameras.
Yeah.
If you turn your computer off or reboot it, all the settings go back to what they were.
Yeah, which is just genius, isn't it, really? I mean, why wouldn't you want to change your settings every single day?
That's why I just took like a screen capture of my settings. That way I just look at it and like, okay, there we go.
It's exactly, that's not a bad idea. How important do you think the behind the scenes stuff for streaming is? Like sorting out overlays, I don't know, community based sort of commands, all that stuff. I don't know how much of that you use.
The commands I never really got big into. I think I have like one or two commands in my stream. I think most of the commands in my stream are for my social or for Humble Bundle or the Discord or Letters Down or whatever. I think it kind of depends on the stream you're putting on. Like mine, like a lot of people use the points and whatnot to spend on gambling, and if you get so many points by the end of the season they have or whatever, and they send you something.
Yeah.
But for me, I think the behind the scenes stuff is important. But I haven't really gotten into the whole commands thing. And to me, it's just not an important to what I'm putting out, in my opinion. But behind the scenes stuff, as far as overlays, I think you kind of want to try and make yourself unique, like make it presentable, make it look professional, you know?
Yeah.
But
do you think there's such a thing as too much? Because I see some overlays and there's like crap all over the place.
I do. Because I've been in some streamers, like even partnered streamers, where, I mean, there's just stuff all over going constantly. I'm just like, I don't even...
You got like chat here, and then you got like tips and subs and stuff here, your massive webcam.
And then someone spams emotes and it just showers over their freaking screen. I'm just like...
So it's too much going on.
I don't even know what to do with this. Like, I don't even know how this would keep track of all that, to be honest. But I mean, it works for them. So I mean, if that's what their community is there for, I mean, I'm not going to hate on it. I mean, I might not understand it, but
it's each to their own.
I certainly won't hate on. Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody's going to have their own flavor.
Yeah.
So, like, even my overlays right now aren't going to be my final setup, because I've actually contacted Hoyt to work on some overlays. And
stuff. Nice, cool. Yeah, he does good work.
Because one thing I've been wanting to do is try and get some part of the artwork on my stream to be done by the active Ladders Down artists. So, I had Daniel Hooker do.
That was fantastic.
Amazing profile picture that I had. I pretty much told him, I was like, I showed him the picture for the cover of the Division 2. I was like, I want the dude on the right, but I want him to be a Wookiee. That's all I told him. And then he come out with that. I was like,
that was insane.
I could have hoped for, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course GH did my emotes. So
Game of Heroin, yep.
I'm still wanting to there's other stuff I still want to get done, but I'm going to be working with Hoyt on getting some overlays done. So kind of want it to be unique to me.
Yeah.
So
put your personal touch on it. Yeah.
Right. I think that is important. Like putting your own personal touch on stuff.
Making your own brand, I guess, is like the professional way.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, you say you're not sort of fussed about doing the commands thing and like the whatever goes with that. Do you think your mind would change if you had a 20 to 30 viewer stream every stream? Or, I mean, you got there without it, I guess, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But would you change if you grew larger?
It's a possibility. Like if people maybe started requesting it, then I might start looking into it more. But to me, I haven't really had too much stuff that's been command worthy in my eyes anyway. Like I think the one voice command I have was when I was playing Overwatch on stream with, I think we had Fishsuit, GH, and a few other people. And GH was playing Mercy, and
it's where she went mental, right? Yeah.
She was like, "Take that, bitch!" I was like, "That's going to be a sound clip."
That was pretty fantastic. You know, you need to add the old troll sound command for me, though, right?
Maybe one day.
Get on that.
Yeah, it might be something I look into in the future. I know, because it's also one of those things where I know a lot of people in the community that I'm part of, in the communities I'm part of, most of the streamers have that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be something I'll look into eventually.
Okay.
And why did my light just...
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
That's it. That's the end of the show.
Hold on, because I honestly have no fucking idea what just happened.
It's why we have these technical difficulties. I'll just, I'll explain what Ladders Down is while Wookiee's screwing around over there. Ladders Down is a community for streamers by streamers. I said this in a previous episode, but I will repeat it again. It's full of amazing, talented streamers, artists, and that is what this series essentially is about. Getting to know the people within Ladders Down, like Wookieee, who right now is being a right pain in the ass. And he's back. But that's essentially what Ladders Down is and what we're trying to achieve. What I'm trying to achieve with this series. You alright, dude?
Yeah, I just plugged it into a different plug, so I guess maybe that plug died. I don't know.
I would cut that out, but that was just too funny.
Yeah, go ahead and leave it in there.
Gotta keep the bloopers in, right? Darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I might add that in. But where am I? So I think quite a big thing to ask, especially because this may help new people that are getting into streaming, is like, what are some of the troubles, issues you've run into with regards to streaming? And what would you do differently?
Troubles. Well, most of the troubles I've had have always been like in the background. Like
technical issues.
Yeah. For one, it's having a computer strong enough to push out what you're trying to push out. Like whenever I had a 4670K, I know that's speaking French to you, but
robot, yep.
But and it was just a 4-core 4-thread processor. I know that's still speaking foreign languages.
You crack on, mate. You carry on. It's fine. I'll just sit here with a dumb look on my face. And
that held me back with having to cap a lot of my games at 60 frames or whatever, just to get the game to run for stream. Then I upgraded that to probably the best. It's the best processor I can get without upgrading everything in my system. And basically it's kind of the same chip, but it had 4 extra threads in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of freed up the processing power. And I've actually been able to, run Overwatch at full strength while also streaming it.
So that's eliminated a lot of your issues there?
Yeah, that plus upgrading the graphics card, because I had 2 780 Ti's and I upgraded to the 1070 Ti, and that was also a huge, huge boost.
Mm-hmm.
That helped with running games, but then the CPU became a bottleneck and I had to upgrade that also. But after I got that sorted, part of it is also trying to like figure out what bit rate you can run, because that's going to be based off what kind of internet you have. There's plenty of resources out there to kind of dial that in.
Especially because like if you're putting it too high, someone could come into your stream that doesn't have strong internet.
Exactly.
Buffers away.
If you're streaming at 720/60, you don't need more than like a 3500 bit rate. If you're running like a 6000 bit rate, people that don't have good internet are going to have trouble coming into your stream and watching it without buffering all the time. If it's buffering all the time, they're not going to stay.
No.
But and the problem with that is only partners are guaranteed to have options for their output.
Yeah, sometimes it randomly appears on some people's, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know how they go about, just because I've seen some some of them where they have the option, like affiliates that have options every once in a while. But it seems like it's completely random on how that happens. But if you're running a really ridiculously high bit rate, then your community might not be able to watch you.
Yeah.
So that's a very, very big problem if you're running too high. But I mean, honestly, other than that, I haven't really had too many issues. It's just, I mean, for me, it was the issue was, of course, this is based on your goals too.
Yeah.
Everybody has different goals for Twitch. There's no one size fits all advice for streaming. But I mean, for me, I just had to start hiding the numbers and start having fun doing what I was doing. That was the number one thing for me. And that's what I started doing. And actually was able to be a little bit more consistent with what I was putting out.
So on the subject kind of what you'd do differently, that would go into there. You would have hidden the numbers from the get-go.
Yeah, because on slabs, I mean, you can just click the number and it says viewers hidden. I'm like, if you say something in chat, I'll know you're there.
Yeah. Is there anything else you do differently, or is that more or less?
There's stuff I want to do.
Okay. And is that a secret? I don't want you to give away your stream secrets.
No, it's just background stuff. Like I want better lighting. Because basically I just have like one light.
But your lighting's pretty good. Here. While mine's failing right now.
But I've wanted to change up the kind of lighting I'm using. Like I've seen some streamers where they're not just using like a white light to shine on them. They have like RGB lights on their wall, and they use that for like an ambient light.
I like the UV lighting. Yeah, that's similar.
So that's been something I've been wanting to look at. Like there's these things called nano leaves. They're like flat panels that you can just put on the wall, and they're RGB, and you can actually put them to react to stuff that's like happening in your game. Or if you get a raid or something, it'll react to that, and you can have it do something when you get raided or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty decent.
It's just they're expensive as fuck. So I haven't.
Yeah, and unless you're streaming like super regularly, it's not worth doling out so much money.
And like I want to get a legit like mixer for my mic, because basically I just have it's basically just enough for me to be able to plug it into the computer. Because I want an actual mixer to actually do the different voices and shit like that. Kind of be a little silly with it, Do
you use filters on slobs for your mic, or?
Yeah, I use the filters I use are the noise gate and the noise suppression.
Yeah,
which I kind of have to, because in here I just have my air conditioner as a window unit, so it gets kind of loud.
Yeah,
and that was something that someone pointed out to me. It was actually Danny Campa. Like I didn't even fucking know about this noise gate, noise suppression stuff at all.
No, I didn't until recently, really.
And like my first stream, all you heard in the background the entire time was the humming of my fucking air conditioner.
I prefer that over you.
Of course you do. But yeah, and then he had mentioned something, so I went and looked and got that dialed in to where it's still activated by my voice, but you don't hear any of this other extra noise going on back here. So it's that's something important to have if you have a lot of background noise.
Yeah. So. And filters for webcam as well, I think are generally quite important, just to make the picture a bit clearer if maybe your webcam isn't very strong. Or
and always go in there, especially if you have a Logitech, because they'll reset if you restart your computer at all. Go in there and uncheck all the automatic shit. Get it dialed in for your picture. Like even mine, I still play with it some, because sometimes I'm like, I look really, really freaking white.
You're just as pale as me, mate, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's what happens when you don't go outside.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm probably just not used to being pale, because I used to go outside a lot. And I was like...
Then you realize you didn't like people.
There's too many people out here. I don't want to do this anymore.
It's not safe out there. I kind of want to grasp your opinion on raids. Firstly, how do you approach sending your viewers on a raid? Do you have any thought process, or you just kind of just look at who's online? Have you raided
Well,
randoms?
For now, I think I've raided randoms maybe one time. There's been times where I get I'm trying to find someone to raid that's in the same game that I'm playing.
Yeah.
If nobody I know is on playing, I'll go into the game and the directory on Twitch and try and find somebody. Then I start getting frustrated trying to find somebody that I think would be decent to raid. Because
You spend about half an hour.
I'll click on their stream and I'm like, nope. Nope. It's like, okay, let's find someone I know to raid. But I mean, I'm probably going to try and it's probably going to change for me starting with the division, because I'm wanting to try and build a community around the division too. So I'll probably do a little bit more of trying to find people in the same game to raid. But for now, like I've been, especially if it's somebody that's usually not on when I'm streaming, and I can just throw a raid at them. I've done that before, where even if they're playing, like I think last weekend I raided the Hoyt because he was streaming when he's usually not, and he's an art stream, and I was playing Overwatch. So
that's a very different, yeah.
So I was like, I'll throw the raid at him because I never get to raid him. I was like, I just wanted to throw the viewers over there and check out his art and whatnot. But
that is like, sorry to interrupt and sort of go off on a tangent, but that kind of brings me to how important networking is within streaming as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because you want to try and find someone that's playing a similar game to you. Or, I mean, because you want your community to try and stay and watch. And if they're there for you watching one game and you go to someone playing something completely different that they don't care about, then they probably not going to stick around too long.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I couldn't. There's only a handful of people on playing, and most of them were playing Apex Legends, and I personally don't really care about Apex Legends.
Like one of the few people that doesn't like Apex Legends, man.
Yep. Unpopular opinions.
It's like hating children.
But whenever I go to raid people, I'm just like, well, everybody's playing Apex, and it's going to be a pain in the ass trying to find someone in the Overwatch category because there's God knows how many people still playing that. Yeah. But so I'll just throw the raid at somebody playing Apex, and I'm pretty sure they didn't stick around for very long. But
so on the same subject as raids, how do you react is the wrong wording, but when you get a raid, have you got a protocol? Is it just a fact of like, oh, thanks for that raid, and carry on with what you're doing?
I usually try and welcome everybody in. I try to throw out my spiel of who I am and what I do. I didn't used to do that. I would just usually kind of react to the raid and give them a shout out and just leave it at that. Yeah. I think it's kind of important to let people know who you are and what you're doing. Which I didn't learn that on my own. People put that out there. You know, you should put it out there who you are, what your focus is. Yeah. And you know, I usually try and do that and kind of run through my my schedule now, since I'll have a schedule starting next week. And what I'll be playing. So I think it's important to put that stuff out there. So if you do have anybody that wants to come back and see you, they know when they can find you. Yeah. I mean, I'd agree with that. Because a lot of these people in the raid might not have ever seen you before. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty important.
I mean, only recently I kind of got the importance of that as well. So, we're just a bit slow on the old upkeep there. Never mind.
And I always prefer and I always try and tell people to try and use the raid instead of the host. Yeah. Because the host doesn't put your people into their chat. It leaves them on your stream, which means they have to go click a button, which, let's be honest, most people probably won't even bother clicking a button. I know, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. There's been like the old /host, I was like,
But especially if, for example, if there's few people lurking, I mean, at least on a raid, if the lurkers will go over. Right. Whereas, like, if they're lurking your channel, they're going to be on your channel still all that time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that can be kind of lean towards your auto host too, because if they're still lurking on your channel, then they'll be on the auto host. But when Twitch is looking at numbers for your building towards partner or whatever, they don't count raid numbers and host numbers.
I heard that, yeah.
I think in order for your raid numbers to count, those people probably have to stay in your chat for a certain amount of time, I would imagine.
Because that could be like, people could get really sweaty partnership just from getting raided by people they know.
A big boost and boom, your partner.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they look at quite a lot of different stuff as well.
I've actually seen that in action before too, because I've watched streamers that were, they get rated randomly for like 1,000 something people from a friend of theirs that's a partnered streamer, and they hit that 75 average, and they applied for partner and they didn't get it because it was from a raid. It's where they got all the numbers from. So they do kind of cancel out the raid, which kind of sucks, but I can also kind of understand it.
I mean, getting to partner should be hard.
Yes,
really.
Absolutely.
Because I think it may be unpopular opinion, but getting to affiliate is too easy.
Yeah, I could see that, because I mean, it's not like I didn't feel like it was that hard for me to get partner. I mean, not partner, but affiliate, because I probably hit affiliate within a couple of weeks.
Like, you jump in a community like we did with Ladders Down, and that tips you over the edge, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I guess without that, it's a lot harder to do without a community around you.
Yeah, definitely. If you know people,
double-edged thing also, because I mean, if you got this community that's still also constantly coming to see you, I mean, it kind of evens out on the cheapness of it, I guess you would say.
Yeah, but if you get hit with all the follows to get to affiliate, and then no one ever comes back, right. It's
that would kind of suck.
it would be somewhat demoralizing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you stick to streaming enough, I mean, average of 3 viewers. I don't think that's too hard to hit, which maybe it should be a little bit harder to hit. But I think even partner used to be a lot easier. I can't remember, because I know a lot of people are partner without having to hit all those big numbers. But I think that was years ago when there wasn't as many people trying to stream.
There's weird things as well, like if you're part of a certain team or something, isn't it? Like, you can get partnership. I don't know if it's linked to like.
I think if you're join an organization, that you can pretty much be instantly partnered.
Which seems, I mean, I'm pretty sure EPB had this rant on Twitter about all that. Like, it shouldn't be that easy. Yeah. You shouldn't just be able to join an organization to get partnership.
But then I think if you're in an organization, you're probably doing esports, and I mean, to me, it doesn't really affect me either way. If they're in esports, they're already making money doing stuff. I mean, if they get instant partner just because they're on a esports team, then
it's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. So, I mean, we've just been talking about Ladders Down, so I just kind of want to get your feeling about Ladders Down, why you like being part of the community. It's a shout out, really, to.
Well, I mean, for one, it's a community of people that seem genuinely wanting to help each other, be friends with each other, help each other out. Like I've been following Fish Shoot for a bit now, which is a funny story. I wasn't following him for a while because I didn't know I wasn't following him.
Okay.
Like Geeks had rated him before, and I guess I never hit the follow button. I was like, oh, Fish Shoot's never on. I can never watch the stream. And then we rated him again. I was like, oh, I haven't followed him. But yeah, they've been great communities, and I feel like it's a real community that actually cares for each other and wants to see each other succeed. And I mean, that's been the whole mantra of Ladders Down anyway.
Yeah.
From the start is, if anybody gets up there, then, help pull each other up. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there with the resources to help each other make their streams better. You just have to reach out to them. I mean, you actually have to go out there and ask for it, though. I mean, there's not going to be like, hey, here's this stuff you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, put it out there that, I need help with this, and people will usually reach out and help.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I really like about it.
Okay. No, that's a good answer. I mean, we're pretty lucky to be part of it because it's not that any of that follow for follow bollocks or anything like that. It's
absolutely.
It's genuine. There's people on there that I enjoy watching as well. It's not just about me getting viewers. It's
right. And I try and watch the people that I wouldn't normally watch also. So the little live thing they put on the side with the bot.
Yeah,
that actually helps a lot because even though I might not say anything in your chat, I'm probably lurking, just checking it out. Because something about me is I might lurk in your stream for a month or two before I even say a single word.
You should probably feel blessed if Wookiee's not saying anything in your stream, to be fair.
That's also true because then I get comfortable in your stream, and then
comes an asshole.
Trolling.
We love you for it, though. We love you for it.
Absolutely. As you should.
Is there anything else you want to add? Well, I mean, we're hitting the end. I'm running out of questions. Is there anything you want to add? Any thoughts on streaming?
Honestly, if you have any desire to stream, just go out there and do it. I mean, don't focus on the numbers. Just go out there and do it. Try and do your own thing. Have fun doing it. That's the number one thing you got to do is have fun doing it.
Because it shows if you're not enjoying it.
Yeah, if you're not having fun doing it, then it's going to show through your stream 100%. Especially if people have been hanging out long enough and see that this time you were having fun and now you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's visible. You can actually see when people stop having fun. But yeah, just keep it fun. Do what you want. Then after that, you can kind of go from there and say, hey, do I want to try and take this further? Is this not for me? Because, I mean, streaming is not for everybody. That's just the way it is. It's the way most things are in life. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's worth trying. I mean, it doesn't cost you any. Well, like I say, it doesn't cost you anything. You have to buy equipment.
Yeah, but you don't have to. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you can fire. You don't need a face cam. I mean, there's plenty of. I mean, there's partnered streamers out there that don't use a face cam. You don't have to get an XLR mic out the gate. You can buy some $50 USB mic or something, or use a mic on your gaming headset. If you've
only got to look at Byron. I mean, he has the basic equipment because he can only stream for console, but he's popular. Right. So
exactly. I mean, he keeps doing it and he's having fun doing it. So it's. I mean. If it's something you feel like you want to do, just go out there and give it a try. I mean, that's what I did. And I got frustrated a few times, but I've kind of finally hit a groove where I can actually enjoy doing what I'm doing. So.
Yeah. That's good. Just to give us a reminder of your handles, your Twitch, Twitter. Is it LetWookieeWin, as I've got it on the screen?
I'm
pretty sure it is.
It's LetWookieeWin with 2 E's in Wookie, because that's the proper way to spell Wookie.
Don't get him started on that one.
I really wish I could put the in there because everybody always calls me Let the Wookie Win. But every time I try and get the name, it says it's unavailable, even though nobody on Twitch has the name. So
feels bad, man.
I try every single day. Trust me. On Twitch, I am Let_Wookie_Win. Because LetWookieeWin was already taken.
I will put these links underneath as well. So,
and that's really the only two I really use. I mean, I have an Instagram, but I don't ever use it. So,
do you want to read out your schedule that you have coming?
My schedule starting on March 12th will be 8:30 p.m. till 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's Tuesday through Friday, and then on Saturday I'll be streaming 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Eastern time. And then Sundays and Mondays will be off days for me.
Oh. Well. Yeah, people, if you haven't watched Wookie, I know a lot of people would have done that watch this, but if you haven't, go check him out. He's not the best at gameplays, but you can have a little bit of banter with him. That's what you get out of Wookie. Don't go there for the gameplay, it's trash. But
Louis though.
Everyone's better than me, dude. But I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for taking part in this.
Having me on, dude.
And
it was good.
Yeah, it's been fun. And on that note, people, catch you in the next episode. I don't know who's up next, but I've got a couple of people in the pipeline, so we'll wait and see. Thank you very much. Take it easy.
Louis Bellin.